That's a pretty drone right there. All right, so it is Thursday. Let's check the date. August 31st, almost September, which means it's almost Labor Day, which also means it's almost time for Freedom Spec Champs. You know, Sean Ames, father of Freedom Spec, has put on a big, long season, races all over the country, really, and it's all came down to Freedom Spec Champs, like 5,000 in prizes, the top 5 points leaders getting a free Airbnb. It's been a really, really awesome series. It's really cool what he's done. But I leave tomorrow for that, and I figured I would show you guys what I go through to prepare for what is a championship level race. So I've got my brand new light switch Ultra right here. I put some extra LEDs off it from an FAI quad from a few months back, and gonna flash it up with the Freedom Spec settings. Figured it'd be a good time just to show you what it is I do to get ready for a race. So I've got 2 drones that are in really good shape, 2 light switch Ultras, and then I have my oval quad, which is one of our prototype 49ers that may or may not turn into something that's actually production, but it's already set up. But just gonna show you how I'm gonna turn this from just a quad that has really no flash on it or anything to being Freedom Spec legal and all the things that I do to get my drones ready for that. So let's hop inside, go to beta flight, and show you all the secret, literally just, there's no secrets, but show you all the things that I'm gonna do to my drone to be race ready. Alright, so we have our beta flight configurator here, and we have our quad right here. Now this quad has already been flashed and stuff for normal, like, open class stuff. So that means it does not have the CAC firmware on it, which is basically, when I say CAC firmware, that's just the firmware needed to be Freedom Spec legal. For those who don't know, Freedom Spec is a spec league that is RPM limited. There's a hardware requirement, which is this. And then there's also, now, this season, a software requirement, much like a bunch of the spec leagues that are coming out right now, which makes all the drones the exact same RPM, which is really, really cool. But I'll show you guys how to do that, or how I like to do it. Since it's already a setup quad, it's actually pretty easy. There's one change that I'm going to have to make because this wasn't on HD0 before. It was actually an analog quad before, and I just put the HD0 V3 VTX and Nano 90 in there. So that'll be one minor change. But all I'm going to do is go over to my presets tab, presets, and I'm going to click save backup, and I'm just going to type in Ultra, sorry my radio's beeping, Ultra LED, way to tell. So that'll save that, and then I'm going to go over here to CLI, and I'm going to type in BL, which will put the flight controller in bootloader mode. So you see we're in DFU mode right there. Come over to firmware flasher, and then I already know it's the Hobbywing X Rotor F7. That's what the flight controller I'm using in there. That little guy, actually the Hobbywing ESC too, which is neat. Seems to work just fine. You're gonna make sure you have show release candidate, enable expert mode, and then this is the thing that most people forget, is usually it's on release or release candidate, and you won't see CAC in here. So you need to change it to development. You'll feel all like a coder and stuff, at least I do. Then you come down here to 442 CAC special release. Don't touch any of this stuff, or at least I never have to. Load firmware online. Beep beep. Flash firmware. And we're gonna let it do its happy dance, and in just a second we will have a CAC flashed drone that we will set up, which is super easy, I promise. We have programming successful there, and click connect. And instead of going through and putting all our ports and all of that stuff, all you have to do is go to presets, click load backup. I have Ultra LED here, open. It's going to apply the configuration, and this is going to get us like 99% of the way there as far as the setup of the drone goes. Since it's a CAC firmware, it already has the RPM limit and stuff on there, which I'll show you in the OSD. And since I saved that backup of the drone that was already set up, then all of my switches, my modes, my tune, my rates, all that jazz is already in there. Only thing I'm gonna have to change is put in the HD0 MSP OSD, which I'll show you really quick how to do that. Come over here, preset. I already have it typed in, but you would type in HD0 VTX. Come over here, blah, 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 blah. I have it set up on UART 2. Okay, should be fine. And then click pick and agree to whatever that warning was. It'll save, and then now I should have my HD0 VTX working. And then last thing I'm gonna check, let's just check my rate. I'll just take you through my little tune here. Let's go to PID tuning. There it is. Sorry, I got lost there. There's my tune. Oh my goodness, super top secret. There's my rates. Oh my goodness, super top secret. Modes, aux1 high, aux3 high, good. OSD. There's my OSD, nice. Looks happy. LED strip. Now, right now it's set up on red. Let me plug this in. I have two drones. My other drone I couldn't get to change colors, which is a little annoying, so maybe I can get this one. Because I want it to look cool. Because like, imagine this flying down the line. Look at that, top and bottom. Is that not sick? Okay, so we're gonna come over here, highlight. Let's try blue, come on. You can do this. Oh, it works! Yeah! Okay, sweet. Well, let me try every single color of blue before I decide. Is that one better? Is that one better? The way this is wired, I can't do like some on top and some on bottom, which is kind of a bummer. But I do kind of like that dark blue. Let me just to say I tried, let me try red and blue. I mean, that is kind of cool. It's hard to see, I know. Let's see if I zoom in. There you go. But in the air, you won't really be able to tell, will you? I think I'm gonna go all blue. It'll match the vibe of the drone. We're gonna go here, ka-chow. I think that's sick. All right, well, I'm gonna get my goggles here and make sure my VTX is working and everything, my OSD, and then we're gonna go out and do some test hovers, and then I'm gonna go out to the field and practice for the race this weekend. So let's, I'm gonna do a couple checks off camera, and then we're gonna do a hover test, and you can see live and in stereo if this thing tries to murder me or not. So, one second. After doing my checks, I realized I did not focus my HD0 Nano 90 camera because you can't buy them with the good lens, the Foxy or whatever it is, and I didn't focus it and I put it on. So I'm gonna take it apart really quick, refocus that, and then we'll test it. The only other thing I noticed was like my OSD wasn't centered, and I've seen that issue on HD0 a couple times. I personally don't know how to fix it, but hopefully somebody in the comments can tell me how. I've seen people like reflash and all this stuff, but I am simply too lazy and it doesn't bother me that much right now. But in the future, if you can tell me how to make sure my HD0 OSD is centered, that'd be sick. Little magic trick, you know, going out to test hover quads can be scary for some people because they don't know if it's gonna work or not. If you just arm your quad with props off, pick it up, and yaw left, yaw right, if it does that motion, 99.9% of the time, it will work. So, what we're gonna do, got the drone plugged in, radio on, arm, and then take my stick here, throttle still at 0, yaw left, yaw right. There's about a 99% chance it's gonna work. You're gonna pick it up. If the yaw feels like it's working, you have a very good shot. Now, I could prove myself wrong, but I'm gonna put props on this and I'm not even gonna be scared to arm the thing. Let's go out there and find out. All right, I have a tiny battery on here and a huge battery strap since the battery strap's for 1500s. So that's why it's like way up there. This is the only charged battery I have, which is like a 1050 or something. But, moment of truth. Always gotta pray to the quad gods. Please work. All right, here we go. That is... Whoa! Woohoo! LEDs look sick! Close up for the camera, close up for the camera. Yeah, that's the Ultra. Yeah, oh yeah. Ah! Oh yeah, that's sick. Alright, so now we gotta put the RPM limit on, which I'll show you how to do in the OSD, but oh, it sounded really good just from hovering. That looks fast just sitting there, doesn't it? Okay, plugging in my goggles now, going to my channel, and I'm gonna try as best I can to show you in the OSD. Let's see if it'll look in there. Alright, so you see that stuff? Let me zoom in. First of all, you can see how it's not in the middle. See how it says RPM limit off, throttle limit off, motor limit 100, and then the CAC stuff? That's what it should look like when you're disarmed. All I'm gonna do is, one second, I'm gonna go into the OSD really quick by doing ka-chow. I'm gonna show you what this screen looks like. So, you see it goes straight into quick RPM limit. All you're gonna do is go down to end of that, so we're gonna go in here, go right, right, RPM limit active. We're gonna, and then the limit's set to 18,000, 1960, whatever, for max RPM and KV, that's correct. It's gonna go to yes, roll right, ka-chow, yes. Now we're gonna go down to save and reboot, so we're gonna go down 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's make sure it's on the right thing. Save and reboot. Here we go. Go right. It should make some beeps. Beeps initiated. Now let's try and fly this puppy. And it should be limited to 18,000. You'll be able to hear right off the bat. Yep. Oh yeah. All right, now we're gonna get a real close up of the camera, try and actually frame this good. Yup. Look how good that thing looks. Oh yeah. Limited properly. Now we just gotta get the weight right and we're good to go. We're gonna go get to 533 grams, probably use some lead, find the right battery we're using, and then we are Freedom Spec legal, and I'm going to the field to practice till the sun goes down. Come in here, turn on our scale. For those who are wondering, this is like a prototype 1580 battery for 533. Is it production? No, but we have 6 of them for samples, and I thought, what a better time to test sample batteries at a race for thousands of dollars. Just kidding, not a good idea, but 516 with the 1580. Then we got our handy dandy tire weights here. We gotta get the 533. Let me break one off really quick. Let's try 2. Everybody's always thinking that people are cheating, so. Oh, there's 2. Need one more of these guys. 537, that's plenty. All I'm gonna do, mount them right up here, nice and good. And we will be at Freedom Spec legal weight. Got our motors, heads-up motors, R38 props, 6S battery, CACS firmware, whatever frame, whatever, everything else. And I'm gonna put some DVR up in my practice today. Hopefully it's a fun day. Really excited. Thanks to Sean for putting on this race. And hopefully you guys learned something along the way of how to be Freedom Spec legal, how to flash quads like in an actual fast, efficient way, and kind of how I go about getting quads ready for a big race. So thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support recently, actually. And I'm going to keep making content for you all. I've really enjoyed it. So thanks for watching. I'm going to go fly some drones just because that's what I do. So thanks, guys. See ya. Whoa.